Last week's Parsha focused on instructions for the building of the ark, the sacred vessels, and the tabernacle. This week's Parsha, Tetzaveh, completes the picture with instructions for the special garments that the priests are to wear when serving in the tabernacle. But the real surprise in this portion is the identity of those priests. Tetzaveh heralds a political revolution in Jewish history that has stayed with us to this day. But it's a revolution that can easily be missed among the details of the portion. The Kohanim, the priests with religious responsibilities, are indeed mentioned before this week's Parsha. That's not new. But what is new is that up until now, one assumes that the priests are not the sons of Aaron, but the firstborn sons of each family. In fact, one of the very first commandments given to the Israelites upon leaving Egypt was the consecration of the firstborn. As the Torah says, Kadesh li kol bechor, consecrate to me every firstborn. Kol rechem bivnei Yisrael ba'adam u'ba'behema li hu. The first issue of every womb among the Israelites, man or beast, is mine. That is not just true in the Jewish tradition. Also in most of the surrounding cultures, historians will say that the firstborn had a special status. Our assumption, therefore, is that whenever the Torah refers to Kohanim, they are those selected from among these consecrated firstborn sons. So it comes as something of a surprise in this Parsha when Moses is told, Ve'ata hakrev alecha et Aharon achicha, bring close Aaron your brother, lechahano li, that he and his sons with him will minister to me. A replacement occurs in Parashat Tetzaveh. We see here the transfer of religious authority from the firstborn of every family to Aaron and his sons. And it is a transfer of authority that lasts for generations. And the question is why? Why the transfer from the firstborn to the sons of Aaron? Well, Rabbi Yoel bin Nun gives a great answer that makes a lot of sense. He says the Torah was trying to avoid competition between tribes and families. We have to remember that power struggles within the family plagued the lives of our patriarchs. The book of Genesis is a book where firstborn sons are often deposed in favor of the younger. And that leads to, effectively, the loss of one side of the family. In Joseph's childhood, the fight over the leadership of the family led to prolonged bitterness and eventually to attempted fratricide. So the Torah has learned from the chaos in Genesis and chooses in Exodus a single family to serve in the tabernacle and a subset of that tribe to act as Kohanim. No more political struggles for the priesthood among the different tribes. Now this answers one half of our question. Why not the firstborn? But what about the other half? Why does Aaron's family get this privilege, especially when we consider his involvement with the sin of the golden calf? I want to suggest two answers. The first answer comes from Aaron's personality. Aaron truly cared about people, and we gain a sense of this caring in the rabbinical comments explaining the crying and mourning of the nation after Aaron's death. He was a man of peace, ohev shalom verodef shalom, loving peace, pursuing peace. So the placing of Aaron's descendants in this role was a way for the Torah to make a statement about maybe the most important value governing Jewish life, and that's peace. Peace means reconciling people to God. Peace means reconciling people to each other, working to heal broken relationships. And that is what it means to be a Kohen. That's what it means to serve God in the highest way, to strive for peace. So to this day, the blessings uttered by the Kohanim in the Amidah are placed adjacent to the blessing in which we pray for peace. And what are the last words of the priestly blessing? V'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless you with peace. Aaron's essential character trait is being reinforced over and over again, and it is that essential trait that qualified Aaron and his family for the priesthood. Now, I like that answer. It's a great answer, but I have one more alternative to offer. I mentioned that Aaron was involved in the sin of the golden calf, which makes his selection as high priest particularly perplexing. But the great Rabbi Tzadok of Lublin made quite a radical suggestion about this connection. He says that Aaron became the high priest not despite his role in the sin of the golden calf, but precisely because of it. One of the most important roles of the high priest is to ask forgiveness of God for the sins of the people. How can a high priest do this unless he himself has experience feeling remorse, asking forgiveness, and receiving that forgiveness? Aaron is not a perfect person, and it would make no sense to put a perfect person in that role. Aaron is imperfect, contrite, even broken. And these are the emotions that are most valued when approaching God for forgiveness, like Aaron and his descendants did every Yom Kippur. For only out of what is broken can the world be healed, can the world be rebuilt, can the world be repaired. So instead of assigning this most important role to random firstborns from every family, the Torah ingeniously decides to leave us with a message that will endure and endure throughout Jewish history. It is a message that reinforces our equality, a message that reinforces the value of peace, a message that celebrates reconciliation, forgiveness, and redemption. In our lives, too, may we be ministers to those great values. Shabbat Shalom.